Hey all, Coach Jay here. I wanted to drop a video for the Coach's Corner this week and prep you for physical assessment 2017 coming up next week. And so first and foremost, I think most important thing is be here. Be here as much as you can throughout the week. If you're a 3 day a week member, um, if you come as do your 3 visits and then maybe visit us during one, make one of those visits an open gym day visit, and then that way you can maybe touch on a few of the different categories that you missed and move on from there, and or catch up next week as well. But be here as much as you can. Be ready to take notes. Be ready to track what you're finding out. This is very important information, not just for us as a gym, but for you as an individual moving forward. So let's take a step back and try to understand why we do this, why the physical assessment is important, and why any type of assessment is important. So think about, let's say you go to meet with a financial advisor. You sit down with them, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to want to assess either your situation. How much money do you make? What are your monthly expenses? Do you have any debt that you're in? So on and so forth. They're going to get an idea of where you are currently with that. And then they're going to want to know what your goals are. Are you looking to save for retirement? Are you looking to get out of debt? Are you looking to save for college tuition? What is it that you want to accomplish? And then with all that information, they're going to start devising a plan for you moving forward so that you can accomplish those goals. Well, it's very similar here. We're looking to reassess our group, get an idea of where everyone is, make some norms and standards with that, make some averages with that, because again, this is a group program. And then we start programming our workouts based on that information. So that brings up a good point, though, is that one, there are outliers in this group. We have a lot of members, and we're going to notice that the majority of members fit into a bucket. But there are going to be people who are a little bit outside the bucket in all different directions. And so that is one of, if you want to call it a negative, it is one of the negatives of a group program, is that it's not written specifically for each individual. It's written for a group. And so if you notice that on a daily basis, you're modifying movements or pieces, and you're constantly having to change things, and you are wondering about that, or maybe you don't like it, then please come talk to us and set up a time that we can discuss what your goals are and if you're doing the right thing for yourself. With that said, also during the assessment, this is, I think, the 5th time that we've done this, and it never fails that every time around, and I completely understand it, but it never fails that people bring a lot of emotion and pride with themselves to test day. What I mean by that is they get mad or sad or upset that they don't pass a certain level, or when the coach says, "And that we wouldn't quite call that a passing grade. We'd want to see this or see that." People get upset about it, and so I suggest that during this week, you leave any emotions out of it and understand that all we're doing is assessing where you are. It's not a matter of good or bad. Just because you don't achieve a certain level doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that's where you are, and all that tells us is what's appropriate for you moving forward. What's going to be the best things for you moving forward with your workouts. So just like that financial advisor situation, you would not be benefited by lying about how much money you make or what your debt is and that kind of stuff. You want the most accurate information to give to him so that he can give you the best plan moving forward. And it's the same here. We want accurate information. We don't want you to cut corners just because you want to have the level 3 next to your name, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. Try to keep emotions out of it and just understand that we're getting an idea of where you are. That's all. So with that said, like I was saying, be ready to be here as much as you can. And then after assessment week, I highly recommend that you consider setting up a meeting with one of our coaches. And this would be a great opportunity for you to kind of review what you learned, discuss if that matched your expectations. So were you surprised that you scored the way that you did? And if you were, how come? And then we can help devise a plan for you moving forward. Some of you will be absolutely able to achieve any and all of your goals following the group program. There may be some of you, depending on what your goals are and depending on where you are with the assessment, that you might be better off doing an individual program. But we won't know that unless we have the chance to sit down with you and talk one-on-one to figure out how we can best serve you moving forward. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions leading up to next week, be sure to let us know. Otherwise, you can reach out to us during the week. Understand that each day is going to be pretty jam-packed. And so we're not going to have time to answer a ton of individual questions during classes. So just understand that we're going to get through it, and then you can always ask those questions afterwards. So be sure to do so. That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed listening. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. You're ready to go.